Hello, hello, hello. It is Monday, and this is Linda, your back in the groove again coach, with another quick live. I always say quick. You never know, it might last longer than 5 minutes. Over the last few weeks, I've been talking about work. All right, I've been talking about um, your interest, your strengths, what it is that you want to do, what you're good at. Now, I want to focus the conversation today on what do you do to get back in your groove? What is it to get back in your groove? What does it mean to you to get back in your groove? As you know, I call myself Linda, your back in the groove again coach, and it can mean something different for everybody, right? For example, if I talk to someone who's recently separated, she'll say, well, when I'm finally over my ex, that's when I'll get back in my groove. Or when I start hanging out with my friends again, that's when I'll get back in my groove. Hello, how are you? Can you please tell me where you're watching me from? Today we're talking about what does it mean to get back in our groove. Please tell me where you're watching from. You could type it in the chat box if you're comfortable in doing so. If I ask the same question to a new mom, and I say to her, "What does that mean to you to get back in your groove?" Well, she might say something completely different. She might say, "Well, when I have support at home, that's when I'll feel back in my groove." Or she might say, "When I lose my baby fat, that's when I'll get back in my groove." Or when she says, "When I start feeling energy again or feeling energetic again, that's when I get back in my groove." So if I asked, what does it mean to you? You would probably give me a completely different answer than the recently separated woman or for the recently new mom, for example, right? Hi, how are you? May I ask where you're watching me from? You could type your name in the chat box or tell me where you're watching me from. One more, if I asked someone, for example, someone whose last child left the home, if I asked that mom, what does that mean to you to get back in your groove? Well, she might say something completely different again. She might say, well, when I don't feel lost anymore. When our children leave our home at the beginning, we can easily feel lost. So perhaps for a mother or parents that their child is finally out of the house, they might say, well, it's when I start doing things for me again, or when we start doing things for us again. And I'm just saying hi to Tanya. Hi, Tanya. Wow, you're watching me from far, from South Africa. I'm in Canada, Tanya. I live near Ottawa. And so right now it is 1:41 in the afternoon. I'm wondering, what time is it where you are, Tanya? What time is it where you are right now? And I'm curious, Tanya, what does getting back in your groove mean to you? If I ask you, Tanya, what does it mean to you to get back in your groove? What would you say? I'm just going through some different types of examples of what people would actually respond. And whoever else is watching me, what would you say if I asked you, what does it mean to get back in your groove? Well, obviously, if I asked somebody who is maybe somebody who's thinking of having a home-based business because they're not happy at work, maybe getting back in their groove is finally figuring out what kind of home-based business they want and starting to get some customers and clients. That could be what it means. Or maybe somebody who's not happy at work at all, maybe getting back in their groove would mean getting a new promotion, getting a new job. That might help to shake things up and start feeling good again, and then they'll say, yeah, now I'm starting to feel back in my groove. I've got a great job again. So it can mean so many different things to different people. Other things, and the last example I'm going to give you is, if I ask somebody that is getting close to retiring, you know, and they could be in their 50s or they could be in their 60s. Retirement, to be honest with you, means different things to different people. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't really have the same meaning as it did many, many years ago. People retire, but most people that retire do something else. They find meaning in their life through other means. They might start a business. They might find another job. They might go back to school, right? And that is part of what they would do to get back in their groove. Maybe people in their retirement um, want to start feeling sexy again, and that's what's going to help them get back in their groove. Or even a young mother wants to start feeling sexy again, and that's what's going to get her back in her groove. So it can definitely mean different things to different people, right? So I'm curious. I'm curious. What does it mean to you? I know we have three people watching right now, or a couple of people watching, and you're all watching me on Facebook. You're all oh oh I see. Thank you, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Going on in my life. All right. So Vicky, going on with your life. Tell me more about that. What does that mean? Going on with my life. What does that mean, Vicky? Let's be specific. Because, when you're thinking, I want to get back in my groove, you need to ask yourself, well, what does that mean? I want to go on with my life. Yes. Does that mean I need to start meeting friends? Does that mean I need to get a job? Let's get really, really specific on what that means. Last week I asked, or I did a live on what you're good at, what you want to do. So sometimes getting back in our groove means I'm going to do things that I love. Oh, thank you, Vicky. I'm going to put that out there. I hope that's okay. So Vicky says, I'm 63, I'm a widow, and I'm preparing for a new job. Wow. Congratulations. This is huge. And you mentioned too that you haven't had a job since 1997. Wonderful. Congratulations. So I'm going to ask you, what type of support might you need around that? The reason I'm asking, of course, because I'm a coach, and one of the questions that coaches ask is that what type of support might you need around that? Now, you might not need any support, Vicky, at all, because perhaps you've already gotten a plan. You've already know where you're going to be applying. You say you're preparing for a new job. You might even have a new job lined up and you're going to be starting it. So you might not need a lot of support around that, or maybe just some encouragement, some cheerleading. Because if you haven't worked since 1997, it's been a while and you might feel a little bit out of sorts. So you might want to, get some support around how do I start feeling good again? What do I wear? What's it like working, out of the home, especially now that you're also a widow and that you are in a new job. And so you might need to ask yourself, what is it that I really need to do to get back in that groove? I've got a new job. Great. What else might I need to think about to get back in that groove? So you see how um, when you're being specific, when you're asking yourself, what exactly do I want? What exactly do I need to do to get what I want? When you're really specific like that, it helps you to think, but it also helps you to set goals, and it gives you some vision. It gives you something to look forward to, which, let's face it, if we don't have anything to look forward to, we can easily get out of sorts and not feel good and lose our groove again, right? Now, the other thing that I want to say, I had this conversation with some friends the other day. They said, It's one thing to get in our groove and to feel that we're on track, but what if I don't want to do what I'm used to doing anymore? What if for me getting back in my groove means getting out of that normal stuff? And that could be right. Okay, so to be around other people. So, and I'm not sure if you mean to be around other people means you need support around that. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, or one of the things you're looking forward to is being around other people. Perhaps that's what you mean as well. Sometimes it's hard to tell exactly on a live exactly what it means, right? Um, if it means now I'm going to be around people, this is huge. It's really huge. Because if you haven't been around people for a while, perhaps because, and I don't know when you lost your partner, I don't know. But yes, that's what I'm thinking too. Yes, thank you for sharing that. After a while, it's almost I hate to use the word depressing, but it can be. It can be when we've been by ourselves and doing things either alone or maybe not even going out to do things. And maybe getting back in our groove means I got to get out. I got to be around other people, right? Maybe that's what it means. And maybe one of the ways to do that, perhaps this is what you were referring to, is by getting a job. Yeah, it could mean that too, right? There's other ways that we could be around people. When I, for example, I'll go to a local coffee shop and I'll go grocery shopping, for example, and I will be around other people then. Or when I meet with my friends once in a while to go on a hike, well, then I'll be around other people then. So we can be around other people in different ways. And one of the ways is by getting a job, but getting a job where we will be around other people. So, oftentimes when I talk to my clients around work, because I am a career coach and I'm a life coach, I will ask them to get really specific. What type of work environment do you want to work in? What is the culture of this work environment? What industry do you want to work in, for example? Because some people do get jobs, but in their job they might be still working in isolation. So if being isolated is a concern, you want to make darn sure that the environment that you're working in will give you that opportunity to be around other people. Oftentimes, customer service is working around other people, of course, depending on the work environment. Some people are offering customer service from home, right? So that wouldn't satisfy the need to be around other people. So, when you're thinking, I want to get another job or I want to get out of my house so that I can meet other people, the question is, how can I meet other people and how am I going to be able to accomplish that goal? One way is to get work, but you might be able to reach that goal in other ways as well. So sometimes we have to dig a little deeper and ask, what do I really, really want? What is it? Is it a job that I want, or is it being around other people that I want? And you can kind of see how um, these are the kind of questions that, when you're working with a coach, you more than likely will be asked because we want to be able to provide you with some support, but you also want to start thinking of, I never really thought about that, right? It's all about making you think a little bit out of that, how you normally think. Okay, great. Thank you. That's right. Very good. So working will give you that satisfaction of maybe feeling productive and not being as isolated, and also, of course, oh, I see, I'm just adding, so I just saw your message, I'll be caring for others in their home. Wonderful. Are you a personal support worker Or can you tell me a little bit more of what you do if you're comfortable in doing that? Personal support workers or people who provide home care type of services are so important, for the individual that they're serving, but also for you, because how validating is that? It must feel really good knowing that you are going to be caring for other people, providing a service to other people in their homes. Maybe they're seniors, but maybe they're not. I don't know necessarily, but wow, good for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm so glad that you're going to be working in an area where you will be working with other people, and you're going to get that satisfaction that you are also of service to other people as well. Congratulations, Vicky. I'm really happy for you. When are you starting? When are you starting this job? When will you be starting this job? I see there's people that are also watching me on my YouTube channel. Thank you. So, Vicky, I know you're watching me on my Facebook profile. Thank you. And I'm wondering who is watching me on my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm just going to stay on for another minute or so. I'm wondering if there are any questions around what we talked about. My original question was, how do you define getting back in your groove? What do you need to do to get back in your groove? And I'm also going to give a shout out to my Facebook group. You may or may not know this, Vicky, and whoever else is watching me, but I also have a Facebook group called Women Who Want to Get Back in Their Groove. So this Facebook group is for women. Now, most women are in their midlife, but there are some younger women as well. It's not restricted to any age group at all, but it is for women who want to get back in their groove. It's for women who have the intention of living their life, to the fullest as well. And so, one of their ways to live their life to the fullest is, of course, by by getting back into things that we really want to do. I'm just going to share your message here, Vicky. It says so much goes on into preparing now that we live in this new world. Oh, you're right. Testing CPR. Yes, you're right. You see, so getting back in your groove meant um, getting some new training. CPR, of course, if you're going to work with people, with individuals that live at home, you have to get tested for COVID, I'm sure. And of course, you need to get your skills upgraded. Now, this is all part of getting back in your groove. So, getting back in your groove means mastering your mindset. It means upgrading your skills in some cases, like in your case. It might mean optimizing your environment. It could mean clarifying your direction, determining what exactly it is that you want. And of course, it also means coming up with some action plans, right? Strategizing your actions. Very good. All right. Thank you for mentioning that. Wonderful work. Thank you for watching me. That's all I wanted to talk about. Now, if you are interested in joining my Facebook group, I'm going to be adding the link in just a few minutes as well. Uh, I'm just going now to that group so that you could find that group easily. It is called Back in Women Who Want to Get Back in Their Groove. That's the name of that group. So I certainly hope that you'll decide to join us, because it's a great group. And in that group, I'll do some lives, and we also have different themes going on as well during the day. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching me. It was great to have you here. And I hope that you'll join our group. It is a group for women who want to get back in their groove. I'm looking forward to touching base again and to being of service of you. And I'm really glad, Vicky, that you'll be starting. It sounds like you've had to do a few things to prepare yourself for this new job, but what an opportunity you have. Congratulations. I think this is huge. It really is to get back into your groove by getting a new job and to working with people. So being of service to people. High 10. All right, everybody. See you soon. See you next time, everyone. Bye.